All right, I just clicked on here. Should be good. Let's give me a sec. All right. Hello, everyone. We are here for the 14th podcast on Jeff Gross Podcast. I am joined by Sean Kelly, who is the founder of Jersey Champs, as well as Delicious and some other cool projects. 22 years young. Sean, how you doing?
Good. How about you, Jeff?
I'm good, man. Good. Good. Got the daddy life. First podcast as a father. So I actually had
Oh,
to
wow.
cancel mine last week. I had one on the next day, but before my son was born. So it's good to get this in and get it going. I know we've been talking on Instagram, and I'm very fascinated by what you have going on. And I think again, most of our audience here is poker driven, dominated, but young entrepreneur. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about, I guess, Jersey Champs is obviously your pride and joy. Looks very successful. Tell us a little about how that started and where that's at right now.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm 22 years old. I was born in Bridgewater, New Jersey, central New Jersey. I ended up going into entrepreneurship. My dad owned a book business, so I helped him like sell his books on Amazon and eBay. I would help him like pack them, and we would ship them out. So that sort of drove me into entrepreneurship at an early age. And then when I went to Rutgers University, my freshman year, I started Jersey Champs. And for those of you that don't know what that is, we basically make custom sports jerseys for celebrities, professional athletes, influencers, even some esports, Twitch gamers. So we just make custom designs. Like the one I'm wearing now is Mighty Ducks. We have all the throwback movies and TV show jerseys. And then I just turned that into a business and ended up dropping out my sophomore year and then went full time with Jersey Champs.
Okay, so how does this, obviously jerseys are cool, as a kid and growing up, and how did you say, you know what, I'm going to start this? Like you went to Rutgers, you did that, but how did you actually just like come up with it in terms of the production line? And it's a lot. You got a lot of custom sized stuff. This isn't, looks like, how does that actually start? Like you come up with the idea, and how long did it take from when you had the idea till you actually launched the company and were selling?
Yeah. So prior to starting the company, I actually had an Instagram page with about 10 or 15,000 followers just from posting like sports, like NBA pictures and stuff. So I ended up turning that into Jersey Champs. So I already had sort of an existing customer base I could advertise to. And I just posted a jersey concept that I paid a designer $250 to make. And it was like a views from the six Toronto Drake themed basketball jersey, and it ended up selling like 100 units within the first couple weeks. And I just kept releasing more and more designs, and then eventually we got some really good sellers with the Harambe and the Trump jersey. So I just kept investing back into the company, into new designs, and growing the Instagram page.
And so, what was the price point at? How did you like on a typical jersey? I'm looking right here on your website, which I'm showing
Mhm.
off screen. I know you can't see it, but I see that you have 8 on here right now. Are these all priced the same? Like, how does that work? Are there different editions? What do they range in price for the jerseys?
Yeah. So the good thing about Jersey Champs is our jerseys are like half the price of normal ones. So they're like 40 to 50 bucks usually, sometimes 30. And most jerseys like NBA jerseys and stuff like that are like 100 bucks, sometimes more. So we kind of cater to the college audience, kids that don't really have a lot of money, and college students love jerseys. So
I see the fruit tropic one. I saw Clay Thompson wearing those. Are these actually those ones are your branded ones? Like these are the jerseys that is this like a can other people get versions of this, or are these strictly from Jersey Champs?
the Flint Tropics one, that's from a TV show. So yeah, other companies can use that one, but we actually got that one to him from us. You could see the celebrity partnerships page. Most of the jerseys have our logo somewhere on it, but other companies can sell that one.
And is this something you said you came up? Do you have partners on this, or is this literally you own Jersey Champs, or do you have a couple buddies and that you got in from out of college with?
Yeah, so I started it by myself, but I have a bunch of freelancers and a couple full timers now, and it's really nice because at this point it's almost all automated. So now I just focus on the bigger picture stuff with these celebrity partnerships.
So, in 22 years old, man, it's pretty crazy. I see you also have Delicious. Tell me a little about what this is. This is also like an Instagram page. It looks like it's got a pretty big following. Is this delivery, or what is this about? This looks kind of completely separate, but what's the deal here?
Yeah. Yeah, so like I realized last year, like I paid I think 15K on food and just eating out, and I was like, wow, how can I find a way to offset this? So I made a food page. I actually invest a lot of money into usernames, and one of them that I bought last year was Delicious, and then I started growing that, and then basically my goal with that page is to get free food in exchange for promotion on Instagram. So every weekend, my girlfriend and I will use that page, eat out at a restaurant or two, and just post their content in exchange for a free meal. And maybe one day we can start some sort of company out of it. But right now, that's just what we were doing with Delicious.
Damn, I like it, man. You got that. You have that full entrepreneurial spirit. Just looking to get covering costs, getting the meals paid for. That's awesome. How long you've been? You say the ladies need to know out there. You have a girlfriend, huh? 22, entrepreneur. You're off the board. How long you guys been together?
It's been 20 months. We met on Tinder. She was the first girl I ever met, and then I just deleted the app, and we've been together since.
Wow, the Tinder dream right there. Nice. That's yeah, that's all right. Cool, man. So, girlfriend, you have a company. See, you've done. I saw a picture. You were at TED. It looked like you were doing. You were there. Was that the one in Vancouver? You went this last year.
No, that wasn't at a TED Talk. I think I captioned it. That's one of my goals, but that was at a local New York event.
Oh, you want to do it? Yeah, I've been to TED once. It's really cool. That's
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be sweet to do a TED talk. I see. Tell me some of the benefits. It looks like of I see this Mark Cuban here on Instagram. Is that a Shark Tank? You made one for them, or did you have your business on there? Was that something you gave to him, or what's that the connection with Mark
Yeah,
Cuban?
so that's a good story. So our business model is I pay designers about $10 to $20 for a jersey mock-up, and then I'll usually get like 10 to 15 a week. I'll post them on the Instagram page, tag the person, and 1 out of 10 times we'll get that celebrity's attention. And that happened to be with Mark Cuban. We made a Shark Tank jersey concept. He ended up commenting on the photo. I DM'd him. We got his address, and my friend works for him, so he handed that jersey to him in person, and we made that happen.
That's cool. Is the goal of? I mean, has it really happened? I guess probably relatively quickly. But are you looking to sell the company? Are you looking to let it grow? What kind of growth are you having in terms of, let's say, from 6 months ago till now? Is it sort of exponentially going? I would imagine the more kind of bigger influencers and people start seeing being able to customize it, and it's an exciting product, like you said, for kids. College kids in particular love jerseys. Is it something that just sort of going like wildfire? Is it slowed down, or what's sort of the goal of the company? Do you want to sell or just hold?
Yeah, so our sales have quadrupled every year, actually. So we're growing pretty fast. This year, we're probably going to triple, and we're looking to get acquired by a big company like Fanatics or Lids maybe in the future. We're kind of doing a unique thing with the jersey market, and we're not selling like professional sports jerseys. So I think it'd be a good sell for like a sports company.
And I have to ask, poker. Do you have any connection to poker at all? Do you know the hand rankings at all? Have you played poker with friends? Like, what's your poker experience? I just got to ask because that's kind of, that's my main thing. So I just want to know, like, does that lie anywhere within your realm or no?
No, I don't know much about poker. I just know Phil Ivey grew up kind of close to where I was born. I know a couple of players, but nothing crazy.
Okay, so all right, we'll work that in down the line. I think that's good though, man. You want to be either stay away if you don't know much about it. It's not good to just hop into some games and start playing. So that's good. We'll cover that at another time. I'm looking at the Jersey Champs, 2 million followers. I mean, it's pretty crazy, man. Like, how does that feel? Because I mean, nowadays, I'm 32 years old. You're 22. I'm in Instagram a little bit different now, but it's in the last 3-4 years gotten really popular, and I've been into it. But how does that feel? I mean, that must be pretty crazy to have something with that much clout, that much recognition at your age. I mean, that you got your friends, people have like a couple hundred or 500, a couple thousand followers. Like, I mean, how does it feel to build something like that where it's got to feel a little surreal to have such a visible and an electric thing going at such a young age? I mean, how do you ever kind of feel like, man, this is insane? You're taking pictures and you're flying on private jets and going around. I mean, is it at 22 years old, that seems a little bit hard to handle all of it at once? Like, have you had any I guess just describe for me the experience, because it happens really fast, like it's not like you did this 10 years ago. You're 22, you're fresh out of college. Like, this is growing very fast. So how is that? Like, how do you feel? Do your friends kind of, your family, are they sort of like in awe or wow, or are you kind of just, how do you handle all that?
Yeah, it's been crazy. I used to get very excited with all those partnerships and the Jets and stuff, but now I just try to stay level headed as possible. And like I hang out with people that have like 5, 10, 15, 20 million followers. So they're always helping me step it up. And it costs a lot of money to get to that level, but it's definitely worth the investment. Like Instagram's one of your biggest assets when you go to sell your company, and it's such a good source of advertising. But yeah, when Donald Trump got that Trump jersey we made him, I was freaking out. I still freak out when celebrities wear the stuff, just not as much because we've gotten our jerseys out to so many crazy people now. So it's starting to settle in for me, but it's really exciting.
I see this here. I was scrolling through. I did catch that. And what happened on this story exactly? So someone was wearing it. This is your jersey from the site, and they were forced to take it off, or was Trump wearing it? He had it. Like what's the story on this?
Yeah, so back up around like several months ago, I think 8 months ago, our Trump jersey was worn at a high school football game by a student. It was a USA themed game, and our jersey is kind of like USA and then Trump on the back. So the principal ended up kicking him out, and it made like national headlines everywhere. So I emailed all the writers, made sure they added our Jersey Champs link to the site. And then I think a week later, someone handed Trump that same jersey at his rally in North Carolina. So we ended up getting that video and that photo of him like holding it up.
I don't understand that they kicked out because the principal didn't like Trump. I don't understand. It was a USA jersey with his like name on the back as our president. I don't know, like that's what the basis was. It wasn't like inappropriate to where he was at. Like what was the context?
No, yeah, they kicked him out because of the Trump on the back, and he didn't like Trump. The principal ended up getting fired, so it was like a big deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Talk about some upcoming. To roll out, like let's say for my Twitch is a huge popular now in general. How does that work with gamers? Do you have, if someone wants a custom jersey, can anyone go on the site? Can they just make their own jersey, or does it need to be a line that you guys make and then it becomes a line? Like are you doing individual sales, or no? Is it like you put up something and people have an option to buy a big set, like you print out a lot of different sizes and of one style, or is it literally I could go on and upload my own jersey?
Yeah, you can create your own on the site based off an image. Like you can customize the front and the back, but we prefer like wholesale with our designers making the design for you. And hopefully we're going to be hopping into a bunch of Twitch esports gamers soon. We're talking to FaZe Clan right now, so that would be a major deal if we could land that.
I see. I think that's my dad or my grandma's in the chat asking a question. For someone not familiar with all of this, where do you buy these jerseys, online or in stores? Yeah, do you have locations yet, or no? I would imagine it's e-commerce, right? You're not yet, at least. You don't have Jersey Champs like Foot Locker or Champ Sports yet, do you?
Yeah, all online right now, but we're in the talks with Modell, so hopefully we could get into a retail presence this year. That's one of my goals.
And it's an interesting space though, because the brick and mortar, sort of those type of places seem to be going. I mean, I guess the highest level of brands are still malls and whatnot, but it does seem that everything's shifting. Even magazines are now, no longer in stands. Or I saw ESPN's getting rid of their magazine. It's going to be no longer printed.
Oh,
So
wow.
I think I just actually saw that today.
Wow.
So I mean, that's cool. It's nice to have a flagship or to have some stores, but really it does seem, I mean, for this type of business too, there's really not that big of a need. You need to know the size of what you're wearing, but it seems like a really easy fit to just have people order online. But yeah, it'd be obviously nice to have a store as well. It seems like it's like trending obviously away from brick and mortar into e-commerce. So I mean, it's like the goal I would imagine wouldn't be, you don't want to blow up and have a store everywhere, but you just saying you might want to have a couple or have one, or would you actually want to go that route and have a lot?
I don't think I'd ever open up just a Jersey Champs store, but I think if there's a play with a retailer to make custom jerseys for them and then have them sell it, I would be open to that.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. And within like a Dick's Sporting Goods have a section or something.
Yeah, because there'd just be way too many SKUs to manage with my own store. We sell thousands of jerseys right now.
Yeah, I mean, without getting too personal into numbers, what type of on a given day, like if a new line comes out or something, what's been like? Has there been one day or a week or some sort of give everyone an idea of what type of numbers you do. I mean, I'm not asking for your private financials, but like, is there a day where you just like, have you woken up one day and been like, or do you remember a day when it was like you were doing say 10 or 20 or 50 jerseys and then all of a sudden one day you sold like 1,000, or was there ever like a massively uptick, and do you know what that was attributed to?
Yeah, there's 2 days that stick out to me. The first day was when Trump got elected, so that Trump jersey like flew off. I think we did like 50 grand that day.
Wow.
And then last year, famous rapper died, and we collaborated with his family on a memorial fund jersey, and we hit 100 grand in a day off just that jersey. So that was huge.
100
But
grand in
typically,
sales or in
yeah, just in sales, just in
wow.
sales. But yeah, typically we're doing like thousands a day, nothing on that magnitude every day.
And then so how is that to learn the back end of that in terms of production, getting the right material, the right places to print it? Was that pretty simple, or did that take you some time to learn? Was there trial and error? Did you just get right into it and just sort of like, with your background in business and your family, was that pretty simple, or was that a learning curve?
No, everyone always freaks out about this step, but it was actually really easy for me, and I didn't even use my family's help. I just went on Alibaba.com, which is a site for factories to advertise their listings. I messaged like several factories, got the best price on jerseys, and they spoke in English, and I just asked them for a sample.
Twitch or YouTube, it's pretty intimidating with diving into doing something like that, taking on such a large thing, because you're like, oh, how do I do this? How does that work? This is complicated. It's scary. I think that like give some advice to someone out there that's watching, listening, and they're young. They're fresh out of college. They don't really know what they want to do. Maybe they're passionate about something. What would you give? What was like the biggest experience you think you could take away and share with someone about getting started? How do you take that first step, and what would be some advice to someone who wants to dive into taking on such a big task such as what you've done?
Yeah, so the more you learn, the more you earn. You guys probably heard that before, but also be very careful about who you do business with, because I've seen way too many partners get burned, like friends of mine. So really know you can trust the guy, because money changes people. So once the business starts getting traction, you can expect people to start acting differently. But also just research heavily on what you're getting yourself into. Like YouTube's a great site for learning a bunch of stuff. I still use it every day to learn stuff from guys like Patrick Bet-David, Evan Carmichael, and good entrepreneurs. So research before you start, because it's going to take a few $1,000s to get started in e-commerce these days. The cost of entry is a lot higher than what it was when I started. So you got to have some funds also.
Yeah, I think also the same thing. I like that expression you use, but I think it takes money to make money, and that doesn't necessarily have to mean you need $100,000 or some crazy amount, but you need to have some resources. You need to take a little bit. Like, I think the one thing is people who don't want to spend money on editors or don't want to spend money on little things that seem like, this money is going to come out of my pocket right now, but there's a way bigger picture. If you're driving traffic, you have a marketing expense, or you've got to fly somewhere and meet with someone, or you see the value. We need to get to Mark Cuban, or let's try to get a hold of 10 influencers and maybe we get one, or let's send them some stuff. And if you start thinking, well, every value also is going to cost shipping, it's going to cost a jersey, and if you send it to Klay Thompson or try to get a hold of him, he doesn't use it. That's going to happen a lot. It most of the time. But when it does, it's worth 50x, 200x, 1,000x, and you can't look at everything. You can't always just say this cost that, this cost that. You have to be able to look at the bigger picture, and that sounds like that's something you go for, and you take a lot of shots. You fire and you try, and some of them stick, and you don't know which one will or how big it will, but that seems to be a strategy that you've used, and it's working really well.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's spot on. Like, I've probably spent 10 grand or so on designs that have never led to anything, but all it takes is that one design to lead to a wholesale order or some sort of partnership, and that's like a 6-figure deal.
What about sports growing up? Looks like I see like basketball, football. What was hockey? It looks like you have a lot of these type of jersey designs are inspired from movies like the Mighty Ducks and that type of stuff. Was there any sport or anything that really you were passionate about growing up? Did you play sports?
Yeah, I played everything growing up: tennis, baseball, basketball, soccer. In high school, I did track and field and cross country, ping pong when I was in China. So I love sports, and that's probably why I like jerseys growing up. And I think it's also important to get into something you like because the money will always come after once you're really good at it.
For sure. I'm it's interesting that I see your talk a little about the platforms. Like Instagram, it seems to be the most popular. I like the most. I see you have the biggest following and looks like the most attention given to. I'm scrolling through the Jersey Champs on Twitter and your personal. It seems like you like. Is it just for business in general, e-commerce? Do you feel that Twitter's not quite as good, or it seems like there's not as much attention given there? How would you rank the platforms for doing the type of business you're doing, or for entrepreneurial type, like these type of pop-up businesses? Like, what would you say? How would you rate the attention you would give on the various platforms right now?
Yeah, so it changes every year, but I'd say right now for e-commerce brands targeting millennials, Instagram's by far the best, and then probably Facebook, and then probably either Pinterest or Twitter. But it's a huge gap between Instagram and Facebook and the rest of the field. Those two are the best by far, in my opinion.
I want to go over here because we have a giveaway as well. Party Poker is giving away a $55 ticket. So for questions, we're going to do a retweet on that. I don't know if I guess it's my internet. I'm not sure if it's yours or mine, but it's lagging. It might be mine, which is strange in the USA how there's not like great internet. I still don't get that. I think I was just showing the Delicious on Instagram. I was showing Jersey Champs on Instagram. I'm going to close this down, guys. It is Sean Mike Kelly on Instagram if you want to give him a follow. Looks like he has a bunch of content and, keep up with the newest jerseys on there. So we're going to close that down because I think it's lagging on the browser over here. But I want to take a couple question from Twitter. Okay, it's Q Bonds asked, do you recognize your jerseys in public?
So yeah, the designs we make, of course, I recognize, but like I said, with those movies and TV shows, a bunch of companies have that licensing to sell those, so I can't really tell. But we put our logo on most of those as well. So as long as my logo's on there, yeah, I'll definitely go up to anyone that's wearing stuff with my logo on it.
And yeah, it's got to be pretty cool to be out. And like, how often would you say it happens is it once a week? Is it randomly? Like, is it starting to be like more and more you'll see this? I guess if you go to like college or if you're out at a football game or Rutgers or somewhere, I'm sure you see more on campuses and stuff. There's a lot of jerseys and whatnot. But are you seeing it like if you're just hanging out with friends or you're out, during a casual day? Has there ever been a place where you saw it that you're like, oh, that's really cool, or is something that stood out to you that you were like surprised to see it?
Maybe my high school, I was surprised kids from there are wearing it. But yeah, pretty much every time I'm at a festival or a sporting event, I'll usually see one at least. But if I'm just roaming around the streets, nah, not really. But because my audience is like younger kids.
Do people like in Jersey? So you said why Jersey City? How far is that from where you grew up? You grew up in Jersey, but I'm not familiar exactly the location distance there.
Yeah, I grew up in Bridgewater, which is about an hour away. The reason I moved here was because I got offered a free apartment in exchange for growing the landlord's Instagram followers. So I couldn't turn that down. It's a really nice complex, so I love it here.
That's awesome, man. Only 2019, man. The craziest things are happening now. That's a cool story. I've heard a lot of different ones. I don't think I've heard the landlord rent for some publicity. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. How do you there's some good questions on Twitter. I'm going for a job interview soon. As a businessman, what advice would you give someone on how to prep to nail an interview?
Oh, I'm not sure I'm the right one for that question. I've never done an interview, but I will say that your resume these days is your Instagram page, and that's what I look at when I'm hiring people. So make sure you clean that up and present yourself well on all your social media pages.
Yeah, I think that saying about you're always on interview, it takes a little further now. Like there's so much information on people. I mean, it's a different world because I feel like I'm caught in the middle at 32. Like when I remember I was a freshman in college and one of my best friends, it was probably like November, I remember, of freshman year, first semester, and my friend's like, oh, you got to check out Facebook. It's crazy, man. It's really cool. I was like, all right, yeah. And at that time you needed a college email. You had to have a .edu to log
Oh,
on to
wow.
Facebook. So that was like, I was, 18, that freshman year, 2004. So
Yeah.
that's like, and there's no Instagram. There was no, now it's like, I can't even imagine being your age or being a kid in college or high school or middle school. I mean, Instagram, everyone knows where you are. People are doing stories. Like if you're at your friend's house and you don't get an invite or something, like, everyone, like there's nothing private. It's like in the old days,
Yeah.
there's location trackers on kids, families, like, where it's just like it's a crazy time, but everyone,
Yeah.
the thing, like, you're always on interview, it's really true. And it's like, if you're on there doing something crazy, or how people can, like, there's just so much access and information now. You really have to be careful, and you want to always, put yourself in the best light and not put yourself out there wrong, because it is true. I mean, it doesn't take much to either, there's not a lot of degrees of separation. Someone knows you who knows someone you can ask about, there's just a ton of different ways to verify someone and check on it. So I like, again, that's a great answer. And yeah, if you're looking to get a job, and you got to be careful what information and how you're portraying yourself, and across, I mean, there's just so many different platforms. It's really, or just be more private. You got to make a choice. You either got to be public and know that's under the microscope, or keep it under wraps and not have that. So that's, do you plan to hire sports stars to promote your products?
Yeah, so with professional athletes, it's a little tricky because most of them are signed to like professional contracts with Nike or other companies. So there's not really a lot of them I could pay to promote. That's why we took the route of rappers and hip hop artists. So yeah, I'll pay them all the time to post our jerseys. Like some of them charge like $50,000, but it's worth it. Pages like World Star, they charge like $3,000, and they always provide a good return for us. So buying shout outs is definitely a good method to get your stuff out there.
Is there any, what type of, would you say, like, mentors? I mean, your family background sounds like helped to have that, to kind of feel the confidence to go. Any people you look up to in the industry in general, or not even necessarily your industry, but influencers or Mark Cuban types? Like, are there people that you feel motivated by? Like, do you have any people that you love to kind of keep an eye on and see what they're doing and how they grind, hustle? Is there any of those influencers that you really look up to?
Yeah, tons of people and companies. Like, normally when people see success, they like hate on it, but when I see it, I get like excited and I want to step it up. Like companies like Movement Watches, Fashion Nova, I study their design all the time. And then entrepreneurs, when I was first starting out, like I said, I learned as much as possible from guys like Ty Lopez, Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, Evan Carmichael, Patrick Bet-David, all those big YouTube guys. And I studied tons of courses from like people you've never heard of probably. So I think it's really important to learn.
Absolutely. What about sports memorabilia? Do you collect cards? Do you like any of that type of stuff, like jerseys, autographs? Like, was that something that you were interested in, or is that a totally different genre? I'm just trying to think of like crossover industries or
Yeah. I don't have any investments there, but this year I've been putting a lot of my money into investments. So maybe if I see a good pick with one of those, I don't mind.
Yeah, because I know. So one of my really good friends is pretty big into that industry, and he's just partnered with Gary Vee and another guy. They started a business called Three Kings for sports cards and memorabilia. I know Gary's like pretty into that. So Gary Vee's another one. He's like, I respect him a lot. It's almost like crazy how like that guy just doesn't stop. I mean, it's just like, I don't know how he has kids and stuff. I don't know how he does it, but I look up to him as well. It's almost to the point of like, I just don't know how he can have a life. Like, it's just almost too much, but I respect it and I like his message. It's just, he really doesn't ever slow down, which is like, I think it's important to have a balance. That's like, I truthfully wonder about how he can have balance. I think that's tricky at that level when you get like, because there's a tipping point. I think at some level, if you go overboard, it's hard to sort of slow it down and tail it back. Do you worry about that ever? Do you ever worry about like being so young? And because me personally, 32, I took probably from like 20, 21 years old till 27, 28, and I don't want to say mailed it in, but I was traveling a lot. I had a lot of fun. I was partying, doing all that. It sounds, I mean, you really got right into it. I mean, you're like already down that corporate sort of business alley. But I mean, I guess you can still have fun. It's not like you can't have fun, but do you ever worry about that? Like maybe just not getting to fully enjoy, maybe not enjoy is the right word, but just to get too too into serious work mode right away, or is that, did you just love it, and do you still have a good balance on the side?
No, yeah, I worry about it all the time, and my girl definitely has me worrying about it more lately because I've been getting a lot of gray hair already, and I'm only 22, so that's not a good sign. So I gotta definitely take it down a notch. But when you're an entrepreneur, you get so excited, and you'll just work all day long, and you don't really care. Like you'll forget to eat, you'll forget to like say hi to your mom some days. So it's just like crazy.
Yeah, I for sure, man. I feel it too. I had my first child and my first gray hairs, and that's all the combination of anything of all of it. But it gets a little it's important, like that Ferris Bueller quote. You got to stop, smell the roses, and life goes pretty fast. So it's
Yeah.
important to have that balance. But I'm excited for you, man. You got a 22. I when actually because we didn't today I asked you how old you were. I actually didn't know. We met on Instagram. Speaking of Instagram, and sort of just talking, and it came up, and then decided to do the podcast. But I didn't. Like I said, I really don't know anything about you other than the Jersey Champs, and I saw on your Instagram Delicious. So it's cool to get to
Yeah.
know you. But when you told me today you're 22, I was a little shocked. Like I knew you were young, but I thought you were like 26 or 7. I mean, 22 is like. That is, I'm just remembering myself at 22. It's crazy, man. You are definitely ahead of the curve. Let's
Yeah.
take another question here. How did things happen? Let's see. In what way do you execute them so that they can be fulfilled? I'm not sure if I understand the question. How did things happen? I guess he's also asking, what skills should a leader have? Let's just stick with that because I didn't understand the other part of the question. So, in terms of being a
Okay.
leader, how would you say, being sort of the well, let me ask you another part of that. How many people are involved in Jersey Champs? Like in terms of, I guess it seems like it's such a massive production, but I guess you have a jersey manufacturer handles all that. But how many people are actually involved that you operate under, that you are in charge of, or running the company for Jersey Champs? How many people does that entail?
Yes, we got 2 full-time employees, and then we have a fulfillment center in New York. I believe 4 people work there, so they handle all the jersey orders. And then we got a customer service team out in Ukraine, paying them $5 an hour. I could have got one cheaper in the Philippines, but I like to have good quality English and customer service, so I used Ukraine instead. And then we have probably around 15 freelancers or so that make the designs and do like other types of work for us.
So and what's so in terms of being a leader in that within the organization of Jersey Champs, what would you say? Would you think are the most valuable, and maybe what have you learned? What do you believe leaders should have, and is there anything that you've kind of developed in your time as from the started when you first put Jersey Champs live into now? Have you learned any valuable skills that you've worked on or kind of honed?
Yeah, so the hardworking work ethic I've always had, so that's important as a leader, obviously. And you got to realize like these employees, they're not going to care about as much as the company as you are. Obviously, you're the one with the equity, so you got to understand that. A lot of bosses get very mad at their employees because they think they give a shit about the company. Most of them don't, so you got to understand that. And you just got to realize that you're going to be firing people, hiring people all the time, and you never know who's going to be the right fit. So you just got to figure that out and just keep hiring people, and eventually you'll find a good core team that you can grow together with.
Really cool. Yeah, that's makes a lot of sense. What was the hardest part of getting Jersey Champ started?
Oh, good question. So I started with a few $1,000s. Hardest part, I know back in the day, I used to like, I used to use scissors and like glue to ship all the packages. It was crazy,
Wow.
and that ended up taking like hours of my day. So I eventually got like that sticky label printer. But back in the day, that was really hard to do. Marketing was never a problem for me because I've just been good at that, and that's usually most companies struggle is getting their products out there. But I just knew the right places to plug it in, and that came easy for me.
Awesome. So we were talking about your earlier. I was asking about your percentage of traffic, and it looks like almost fully USA. And one of the questions here is, do you want to open in Europe? So I guess maybe more so. I would assume is it or where are you? Where can people order exactly? Like it's technically, can people order in Europe, or is that even? I guess I mean I think this person is meaning about Peter Kasai asking about if you had like a store, but and open. Is it open? Can if you live in Denmark, can you order a jersey and get it shipped there, or no?
Yeah, we ship worldwide. It costs more to ship there, but we do ship worldwide.
Okay, so that question, there you go. Do you want to open in Europe? I mean, you're in Europe, you're all over, but what that being 98 or almost close to 100% USA, is that on the horizon? Is that a plan that you want to push marketing and start to get over into Asia and Europe and these places, or is it? I guess jerseys just aren't as popular probably there in general, right? Like Asia, maybe some basketball, but like not Europe. I mean, kids aren't wearing like Mighty Ducks jerseys in college campuses currently, I would imagine.
Yeah, it wouldn't be for a while if we were to make that move. 98% US, there's really no indication of us attempting to put like millions of dollars into a move into European markets right now, but maybe in the future.
A guy from the YouTube chat, PYG Million, asking, "Have you thought about sponsoring Jeff to use his designs? I would be a good ambassador all over the world." Yeah, well, I guess that's the real question is for the Flow Show, man. I do want a jersey, so I'm gonna get on there and mess around. I want to get a custom jersey. That would be fun. But that is something that you offer. You said anyone can go on and
Yeah.
you can make a custom kind of I think that could be a cool one though. Like not even the Flow Show, but just like the word, like I love the word flow. Like I feel like people, it seems like kind of pop culture word that is, it's a positive word. So, but that is open. Anyone can go there. How's that price differ if someone makes a custom jersey versus one of the ones you have? What's the price difference?
I believe it's like $20 extra and it takes an extra week or two. But yeah, I grouped my designer with you on Instagram, so just let him know what you need for
Okay.
the design.
Beautiful. Yeah, well definitely I want that. I used to wear jerseys a lot. It's I haven't
Yeah.
in a while, but it's fun, man. Especially on like a Twitch stream. It's that's cool. It's fun. I would imagine have you done any marketing with Twitch? Have you had any type of gamers or any type of customization with that so far?
No, we got to tackle that market. We were trying to get into more esports leagues because they all wear jerseys at those competitions, and they're getting ripped off. So
Yeah, that's well. Let's talk later about that as well. I definitely, I could try to help you get connected with some teams, and esports is, I mean, yeah, it's that's a
yeah,
whole
that'd
nother
be
ball.
amazing.
That's crazy, man. It's a crazy industry. Um,
Yeah. Do you care if I get my charger real quick?
no, go for it.
Sorry, yeah, I'm on 1%.
All right,
All right, let me get that.
yeah. All right, guys. So we're here again with Sean Kelly and the founder of Jersey Champs. Again, not the typical. Usually, we have some sort of poker connection in the podcast, but that's something we do want to do is branch out. I just thought this was a really good fit. Someone young, hungry, passionate about what they do, entrepreneurial, and this is my first time talking with Sean, so we're learning as you are. If you guys have any questions on YouTube or on Twitter, get them out, and Instagram as well. I'm going to look at Instagram quickly and see if there's a question there. Let's see. Wow, this guy, dude, he's already sent the Instagram connection, man. Just the absolute animal. He's already doing it. So cool, man. Just trying to see here on the questions. Let's see if we can find Instagram. Sean Kelly, swipe up. Ooh, I love that question. Okay, if you had to start over, how would you start? We'll ask that when we're back. And we'll let him get it so his phone doesn't die. Oh, we may have lost him. We actually may have lost him with 1%. Well, guys, hope you've enjoyed it so far. I think hopefully you can click back on the link he has on his phone, but it might take a second. And our internet, we need to get the internet fixed. It's just a shame. I'm telling you, I am going to be between the Miami and Bahamas studios with my son being born, so we will be doing a lot of podcasts, a lot of Twitch streams, a lot of playing of poker, and we're just, the internet's the issue. We had an internet problem on Sunday, or we would have streamed, but I do have a recording going up. Adrian's editing that video as we speak. Couple deep runs, final table as well. And I really appreciate you guys being here. What's your most popular jersey? What up, Matt Kiefer? Legend. How are you, brother? What up, JG? Congrats on the new boy. Thank you, Kevin Gunn. Matt Kiefer in the building. Let's see if... yeah, I can tell I like this guy a lot. He is a very, very... seems very sharp, very humble. Just trying to see. I think we lost the phone. That's what happened. Give us a sec here. I'm trying to get a hold of him on. I think he's here. He's just coming back down. 22 years old, man. You got to give him a break for the phone running low. He's probably having a good night, late night. Phone wasn't on the charger in the morning. And we will ask this question. We'll ask a couple more. We're going to do the giveaway. We got a $55 ticket as well. It's a really cool question. Let's see. Yeah, some really good questions, guys. Scrolling through here. I'll answer a few more. Let's see. Don't know what that means, but yeah, we got a bunch of different. Let me get the competition agency loaded up because someone's going to win a $55 ticket as well. We'll let Sean spin that for us. RNG it. Copy this. Go here. Put it here. You guys still not too late to enter. Paste. And going to finish out a couple questions here. And I think we're going to get him right back. So hang tight. Hard to believe where he'll be. Yeah, hard to bet. Yeah, Matt Keefe, you're not kidding, man. 22 years old, already a very successful company. It's really cool. It's inspiring. I think, the thing is, though, I think this is going to be a trend. Like, you're going to start seeing more 20, 22, 23, 24-year-olds doing really cool, innovative things. Like the information now, it's so much. People are, they're getting stuff going at 14, 15, 16, 17, getting motivated, seeing a lot more inspired, I early on. So I think this is going to be a trend, but definitely kudos to Sean. Let me see. Oh, he had to run up 35-floor building. That's why he was in another part of it. Any other questions in the chat? Matt, I appreciate you, man, for coming in. I've been checking some of your vlogs as well. Oh, we're back.
Hey, sorry about that.
No worries. We got improved lighting and we're back. So no worries, bro. All right, let's pick up. We'll do a couple more of these questions. I have some more as well. I just want to go through these as well. We're going to do the $55 giveaway. Someone's going to win. We'll do that at the end. If you guys hit the retweet button and ask a question, let's do a couple more here. Your business model is exclusively online sales. I think we kind of covered that. Is that true? As of right now, is there any other type of sales you guys do? Do you ever do pop-ups or go to like at a stadium and do stuff outside? Or is it literally right now purely, you said you were looking to get into maybe do within some major stores doing like a pop-ups in there. But what about currently, is there anything else other than design?
Yeah, it's pretty much all online. We do a bunch of sports leagues as well, but that's all done through online sales channels. And the only thing I could think of is maybe some of the rappers are selling them like on the at the venue, but everything we do is online.
Did you see that by any chance? Did you happen to catch the 50 Cent thing with that guy Randall Emmett? Have you seen that in the last few days? What happened?
No, I should know about this though. What happened?
Oh yeah, I'm a little surprised you didn't see it. 'Cause, I mean, it's in your space basically. So this guy, Randall Emmett, he's like a producer type personality. He does production in Hollywood, like Lone Survivor, some stuff. He's a little out there. He plays on some of the poker TV shows and does some kind of wild stunts, right? But basically, apparently owed 50 Cent $1 million. And I'll have to send you because I took screenshots of it. It's been deleted now, but the guy put him on blast. I think he probably promised him for a role or did something, or somehow he owed him $1 million, and he literally put like 6 posts on his Instagram to his 20-something million followers, like calling him out, like basically saying you're a joke, like making fun of him. And then he screenshotted a message from the guy, and he typoed 50 wrong, so he was like, "I'm sorry, Fofty." Like instead of he like and so you got to Google it, it'll come up. But so he made shirts and it's like and it was like I'm sorry, Fofty in a thing, and he was like, I want my million by Monday or else. And then he like showed that he sent 250 of it, and he put like literally 7 in a row posts about it. And then like he made a shirt though, and he put it out, and overnight it sold over 300K in sales, where it said, "I'm sorry, Fofty," and it was like the yeah. But it's so yeah. But this guy plays poker, and he's got it's interesting, but he got literally wrecked by 50 Cent on social media. Holy for like
crap. Yeah, trends are so important, and you can really capitalize off stuff like that.
Have you had any what speaking on that, what's the most popular, what's the most popular, has there ever been wording on one, or does it always like is there always like a sports jersey theme, or is there some kind of saying, or do you do any of that, or is it mostly just what would be your favorite design, I guess?
Yeah, there's been wording on them. My favorite design, good question, probably I like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air Will Smith one. I think that's a really good one.
Yeah, who doesn't, that's a great show. Is there multiple lines for that, or was it the one, it's the Bel-Air? How does that one read? I think I did see it, but is there more?
Yeah, it's the yellow one with Bel-Air Academy on the front and then Smith and 14 on the back, and we got Carlton Banks as well.
Yeah, what a show. That's legendary. How did that? What about trademarking on stuff like that? Have you ever had any issues, or are you real careful on that? Or if you want to do something, like, is there any times where you need to get permission on something, or for that, for example, do you have to contact or get a hold of the show or anything, or is that still kind of like not close enough if you just put that? That seems like a fine line.
Yeah, for TV shows, we got to get their permission. And for like rappers, obviously, we got to get their permission. And, when I was first starting out, I had no idea about any of this. So I got hit with some stuff from Chance the Rapper when I was first starting out. Luckily, it was early on. So I was able to just realize, all right, you got to get their permission from now on before you go out and start selling their shit. And yeah.
How did that go down? So like he literally, his manager or someone contacted you, or did they try to sue you, or did they just tell you, were they just like, hey, you can't do this, take it down? And like, were they nice about it, or was it kind of aggressive, or?
It was pretty aggressive. We did a Chance the Rapper jersey giveaway on our Instagram page, and it got thousands of comments. And one of the rules was you have to tag him to enter. So he was probably ticked off. Showed it to his lawyer, and he sent us a cease and desist. So I had to send him, I think I ordered like 80 units or something, and I had to ship it all to him. I don't know what they did with them, but I had to send them the sales report and everything too.
Oh, wow. But was that did you ever do something with him afterward, or was it like good after? Like, it wasn't no bad blood? I mean, like you said, it was early. It'd be one thing if you did that right now and had hundreds of thousands of people doing it, and it became it could be a serious headache. But that sounds like it was manageable. Was it cordial afterward, or did you ever talk to him or his people again, or was that just like done and that was it with that?
Yeah, it wasn't enough money for them to even come after us. It was like $1,000, I think, in sales. So it was really nothing. I think we're fine now. He probably forgot about it by now.
Okay, just a learning a lesson. It seems like an inexpensive one, so that's running good, man. That's getting your lessons out of the way early. I like this question from Instagram. If you had to start over, how would you start? So what have you maybe learned, or is there anything that sort of goes along the lines of advice for someone? But what would you do differently that maybe that was if you could see where you are now and what you did, like what would be the thing you would maybe do in a different way, or just
tons of money into Facebook ads because they're super expensive now. But back in 2016 when I was starting, it was like ridiculously cheap, and I really regret not putting more early on. I would also probably put a lot more money into the Instagram and just go hard with those two platforms, because those two are the only ones you need for e-commerce.
I think that it's really interesting because I'm in a spot as well where I've started doing some advertising on Instagram. I did a YouTube as well a little bit, but not so much. And I think there's a misconception. It's one thing if you're just you want to be cool and have a lot of followers and try to buy followers or something, but
Hmm.
there are organic ways. I've done some Instagram campaigns, which is Facebook owns them, so it goes through that where I put out, and it's if you have a product or if you have something that's generating value, it makes a
Hmm.
lot of sense. If you want to go to the club and show a girl that you have 10,000 Instagram followers and you want to pay for them and you're just sitting at home, it's one thing. But if you have a product, you have Jersey Champs. Hey, I do a Twitch show. I have affiliate programs for coaching for store. I have other stuff. So I think it's important to understand that there is value in spending money, and that is real, because there's different types. And I want to touch base. I know you have as well a Cloud Champs, I believe. You have an agency or type of marketing for that, but it's one thing to have fake people just to pad stats. It's another if you're organically targeting people of interest to promote
Hmm.
something that you're going to be generating revenue from. And I think there's a big misunderstanding with that, and maybe you could touch on that a little bit and how that works.
Yeah, so there's a few ways to grow. One of them is what you just said with the Facebook ads. That's very expensive, but if you have a high ticket product, it ends up working out in your favor. You can gain followers and profit, but that's not going to be for many people. There's giveaways. So basically, what Cloud Champs does is we pay influencers. We did Kim Kardashian last week, so we pay her $500,000, and she gives us the ability to tag 50 people for her fans to follow, and then we have those 50 people pay us like an X amount to be entered into the giveaway, and everyone gets like 100,000 followers in like 2 days. And we have one with Kylie Jenner coming up in 2 weeks, so everyone's going to gain 100,000 from that as well. And a lot of people and brands really like these giveaways because they're not only gaining followers, but if they have the right product, they're actually making a profit on what they're spending. So it's like a win-win for them.
So give me an example on the Kylie Jenner. How would that work exactly? If someone so that's something your service you guys offer. So how much does a ticket item like that cost?
Yeah, so it's $20,000 for a spot there, and she gives away 10, I believe it's Gucci bags or Michael Kors bags or something. And then basically she says you have to follow everyone this page is following, and that page will be following the 50 people that paid us, and everyone gets like a lot of followers like within a day or two.
And how effective do you think that is? Because I mean, I would imagine a lot of people follow and then unfollow, but maybe it depends if the accounts are like the thing is though. Again, those 50 people are not like random people. They may be interesting, and so what's the conversion rate on something like that? Like I'm sure
Yeah,
they get them and then they lose a lot, but
yeah, the drop off's anywhere from 10 to I've seen up to 40% if it's not a good page. But like I said, the sales that come in that day usually outweigh the cost of entry. So it's people usually make their money back like the by the second day.
yeah, it's one of those take money to make money, but it's sort of like the leap of faith where it seems expensive or a little bit, and that's the thing. Even if it's close, like if it's net and you lose some, it's not that big of a deal because I think those are that's a really it's huge like that. Those are the things you have to take some chances on and understand what you're paying for and what it really brings to you. What would be someone what would you say is like another level of that? Like, do you do any ones that aren't quite as expensive? Like a Kylie Jenner's like the top of the top, I would imagine, or
Yeah,
the
that's
Kardashians. But
for
like, what's someone like? Is there some like 2K or 5K price points, similar type deals? Do you have different tiers?
yeah, for sure. I have about 5 people that do these giveaways on a smaller scale, so I'll outsource people to them all the time. And there's some that are as little as $1,000, I believe, for like 30,000 followers or something. But they're international, and I like to keep my campaigns USA based because I don't really care about international followers as much.
Really interesting. And is there if someone wants to do that, how would they go? How could they reach out to you? If there is there in terms of that, is it best to get you on Instagram on your main page, or do you have a spot where they can go to check that out for this kind of shout out the Clout Champs?
Yeah, just DM me. I have a full time VA answering and outreaching all day on my Instagram, and that drives a lot of conversions. So I think every entrepreneur should have a VA in there.
Talk a little bit about the DM. People like to joke slide into the DMs, but so for you, you must get a crazy amount of messages. So how do you sift through that? How do you kind of handle that with your personal assistant or someone to do that? So obviously you're on it, you have it on your phone, then they have access and they get to see as well. And they just kind of sift through. So they like delete the total junk. If it's questionable, they might leave it and say, hey, what do you think? Or if it's someone, like that's kind of where the blue tag comes into play, right? It's like, like when you see a blue tag, and Instagram, it's different than Twitter. Some other ones, like Instagram's very powerful. They're very selective with it. So when you see someone on a blue tag, it's generally you're gonna probably at least take a look at what's going on.
Yeah, so I have a VA, like I said, and I'm on an influencer account. So basically, it lets you sort your messages into 2 inbox, general and then business. So all my group chats and other chats are in the general box, and then all my important ones are in the other one. And I have what's called quick replies. I'm not sure if you have this set up. So my VA would basically type one letter and it'll have a nice little paragraph or sentence that I created automatically inputted once they type that letter. So it saves them a lot of time. And I'm paying these guys hourly, so time is very important. And then as far as outreaching, they just they message verified pages or big influencers and see if they want custom jerseys. And it's pretty easy to find people like that on Instagram.
And tell me a little, because I have help as well, but I'm not sure. It sounds like you have some tricks, some stuff I don't know exactly. How do you do that on how do you have them? You make folders within Instagram, like the DM box?
So you're probably on a business profile right now.
No,
so
I have regular.
Oh, so yeah, you're on a regular, so you probably can't organize your inbox, but there's what's called a business profile and an influencer profile. I'm on the influencer one, so I can arrange my inbox. But the quick replies, you need to be on a business one as well, I believe. And you go to settings, and it should be under business settings where you can set that up.
But your Sean Mike Kelly one is under both influencer and business?
Sean Kelly's under influencer, and Jersey Champs is under business.
So, okay. So, because I have 2 as well. So maybe for the other one, I should put business. That would be that's a better way to do it, to organize on the business.
Yeah, because if you find yourself just sending the same message a lot, it's better to have quick replies set up because you'll save a lot of time.
Interesting.
I'm sure a lot of people are asking you like the same questions.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, YouTube. I try to answer a lot of stuff on YouTube, but it's same. It's a tedious task sometimes. You want to show that you're engaging and whatnot, but it's hard to write out replies and to do that. What's up, Sheffield, in the chat? I see you. Matt Kiefer says, congrats on the baby. Thank you. I saw a question. Matt was saying how it's hard to believe where he'll be when he's an old guy at 37 like me. Yeah, man. 15 years from now, your head start is you have a decade, I think, on at least a half a decade on most entrepreneurs. So it's pretty cool, man. You're in a sweet spot. What would you say is the 10? Is this something that you see yourself being with for the foreseeable future, or is there some type of industry or some other passions you have? Let's say you get Jersey Champs acquired, or even not so. Is there some other type of business ventures that you'd like to get into? It looks like you have 3 now. Is that correct, or more? I mean, you have the Delicious, which is sort of like a hobby you've turned into. You got Jersey Champs as your main deal, and now you have Clout Champ. Champ or Champs? Clout Champ?
Clout Champs, yeah.
Clout Champs. So you've got these verticals. Is there anything else that's sort of like space-wise that you like a lot, the industry that you might want to get into?
Well, yeah. So I've been sitting on the money for the past 3 years. I didn't pay myself till last year. So this year I'm going to pay myself again. And I've been putting a lot of money into stocks this year, looking to get my first real estate property, watch, and all that investment, setting myself up right for the future. But I kind of like to focus on like one business at a time, get really good at that before I move on. Because when you're focusing on too many at the same time, that usually leads to nowhere. And I've seen a lot of people go down that road and they just never get to excel at one thing. And I think it's important to just stick with one business at a time. Yeah,
it's really powerful. I can relate to some of that in terms, like, it's kind of funny with, podcasting, streaming on Twitch, doing the videos, it is, and then playing poker. It's hard to, I think that's the one thing I've really noticed the most is seeing, when you need to have that clear intention and that drive and put your head down. Like even the podcasting I did like one or two, and I just knew I wasn't ready with what was going on. Even now it just gets so much easier. Like once you start doing something more, you have the setup right, you know where it is, you get it organized with guests, you know the slots you're gonna do, you get everything starts going quicker because it's really hard to multitask and be successful. I think that's maybe the most powerful thing that touches home, and that if I would say if you're watching at home, if you want some advice, is to really try to stick to one or two things and do it really well instead of trying to do a little everything, because it is really interesting how that works, where stuff just doesn't, you just don't go like this. It kind of like everything is just okay, or just you're not getting to that point where you're just rocket shipping, and then because once you get the rocket ship, once you get your bread and butter, then you can kind of do some other stuff and have fun and whatever. Because if you have that one that's really taking care of everything, then there's not as much pressure. But if you're just doing everything half-ass, it's like you can't really get ahead. So
I agree.
That's yeah, man. Again, that's beautiful. I agree with you very much. What about travel? Have you gotten to travel a lot, or have you just kind of been working and grinding in Jersey? What's your worldwide exposure? Have you been to Asia, Europe? Have you done a bunch of trips, or?
Yeah, I've been to around 15 or 20 countries. I'm not sure, but that was in high school and college when I was just reckless, partying a lot. Now whenever I travel, it's just for business, and luckily I got the mileage card for the business card, so I pretty much fly for free, which is so convenient. And I run the page at Cities on Instagram, so I get free hotel stays and stays at resorts. So I travel for free, which is amazing. I love traveling when I have the time, but I usually much prefer to work just at home.
Yeah, it's fun. It's traveling's great, but it is hard to get a lot done when then you're out of your routine. You don't have the gym. You don't have you just everything's off. The food's off. The sleep's off. You got to pack, unpack. It's cool, but it productivity wise, it makes things a lot more difficult to get to be organized. Also, time zone wise, you got people. You have your normal scheduled meetings or your time slots. You talk to people. You're in halfway around the world, and now you're off when you're supposed to talk. And it's definitely I did the travel for 7 to 10 years. I was traveling a lot. Took 100 flights in 2 years, 2015 and 16.
That's crazy.
But yeah, now it's like now my son's here. It's like I really enjoy gonna be in kind of in between just one or two spots. Like I was saying, Bahamas and Miami. It's pretty easy trip, and just to be streaming, because actually, so poker you can't stream from the U.S. Like Party Poker and the other major sites, you can't play from the U.S. So it's super complicated. Like if I could just be at my home and just flick on and stream on Twitch, I would do it every day for a couple hours. But it adds a huge obstacle because I have to bring a mobile setup, a second monitor. The internet connection sucks, so it's like to stream on Twitch, you need a good connection, and it's really hampering, to be on the road and have to set up like pop-up shop everywhere, and it's some very trials and tribulations of learning, man. If you could have seen some of the streaming adversity I've gone through, like I remember we went to New Zealand for 2 weeks. I was there like, oh, this will be great, we'll stream, and their internet's not good enough to even get off the ground in New Zealand, and like just all kinds of times where it's been so frustrating. But I think like you said, it makes you stronger, and you've learned a lot. And even some of this stuff, like I would imagine that you said was hard when you started, and even doing the stamps and manually sending stuff and not having the stuff, like I think it adds value to the journey when you do that, when you have to actually struggle and sort of see the hard. It's not easy, like everything. There's some lessons and some learning that comes with that. So I guess like it's nice to know what you would have done differently, but in reality you probably are glad to kind of struggle at the beginning and have to really grind to get through it.
Yeah, definitely. Everything happens for a reason. I think you're right about that.
Have you been to, I guess you probably, I would say no, but have you heard of Burning Man?
I've heard of it. I don't think I'd ever go to it though.
Oh yeah? Why is that?
It's more for older people, right?
No. Well, older, like maybe, mid 20s, early 30s. I met my wife there actually in 2014.
Oh, wow.
We were walking by each other in the middle of the desert, and didn't know her. 80,000 people. Have you seen images? Have you seen some pictures of it?
Yeah, I've heard just like everyone does drugs and stuff and just goes crazy.
It's not totally true. There's definitely availability to do that type of activity, but it's not really like that. It's about art. I think you would love it. I would guarantee it, actually, and I would highly recommend it. Anyway, just kind of a sort of a fun, unique, innovative place that I definitely have high praise for. I would put that on your list, man. I would check that out, not maybe this year, but in the next few years. I think it would really surprise you. I was just thinking because it's it's a very entrepreneurial, very free spirit, very it's a very cool vibe there. So I was just thinking maybe you had at 22 though. Yeah, it's the college kids aren't really going. It's more of a 25 plus, I would say. But I would.
Yeah, that's one of the outlets we have for Jersey Champs music festivals, order a lot of jerseys from us. So I got to look into that.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to talking afterward. I have a feeling there's a lot of different connections and ideas and types of things that we can do. Do you have any shout outs, any people, any up and coming industries that you like, that your friends are diving into? Is there any type of similar things that are sort of unique? That's what I love about poker, because not many people do it. It's sort of like people are, when you meet someone and you're like, oh, what do you do? I was like, I'm a professional poker player. They're kind of like, oh wow, that sounds like so crazy, and it's like, it's not really, but yeah, it's different, and what you do is different. I mean, you started something that's widely popular and honed in on a niche of it. Is there any other friends or cool ideas, concepts that some of your buddies are doing, or that you are really think is like a future, maybe someone hasn't heard of?
I'm a big advocate of CBD. I just put in a lot of money to like 3 CBD or THC stocks for medical marijuana in the future.
Hello? You there? Hello? Shit, might have cut out.
Sure.
You
there?
Yeah, I think it cut out for a minute. Are you still, let me see. Yeah, I think it's good. I think, man, something's wrong with the internet. It's very strange why it's not working. But sorry, you cut out. You were saying the CBD, you invested in the CBD into several
several
there?
stocks with CBD or THC or whatever. My mentor just put in a lot of money into like 15 CBD stores, so hopefully that can take off.
Which area is that? Which part of the country?
New Jersey, New York.
Nice.
And my other friend just paid like he paid $500,000 for a CBD domain, cbdoil.com. So people are going really hard with this stuff.
Yeah, I'm from Michigan, and that's one of the emerging areas right now. It's popular. I got one of my best friends is like a lead lobbyist there, and he's very on the inside track what's going on. I'm also looking. That's an area that I wanna pop some money into and get invested. I think it's a really cool spot, and it's definitely going to just get bigger. Speaking of that, you just mentioned your mentor, Matt Kiefer, who he actually won a 25K giveaway from my channel. Matt's in the chat.
Wow.
Into a PSPC, one of the biggest tournaments in the history of poker, this last January. So it's cool to meet him in the Bahamas.
That's crazy.
And he's in the chat right now. He's asked, who was your hero growing up? I guess that maybe in touch on your mentor you just mentioned. And someone just said your accent is sexy as fuck. So you got that going funny too. So who was your hero growing up?
It's cliche, but probably my father. I wasn't really exposed to much else besides that. And then, the mentor you just mentioned, I actually met him in my mall, and he owned this iPhone repair company, and I got my phone fixed, and we just hit it off, and now he's just helping me out.
That's cool. Very cool. Let's see. Yeah, it's got some good questions. So, and what do you remember the moment when you said, I'm going to make this? Did Jersey Champs, how did that come? How did you come up with the name, and what was the day when you actually said, I'm doing this? Like what triggered, what went through? Was it like instant, you said, I'm going to do it, you like got on GoDaddy, bought the domain, and it was up, or did you think about it for a while? Like talk me through the actual day that it went, and how long did it take from the day you said, I'm doing this, to that it was live?
Yeah, it honestly happened so quick, and like when I get into something, I really get into it. So I had faith from day one that it was going to work, because I really put everything I have into it. Like, it's with academics, sports, it's just how I work. And it took like a couple days to set up the site. It was really crappy at first, but I ended up making it work.
And do you remember your first sale? When was like the first natural sale? Of course, your parents and some friends probably clicked on, but do you remember any organically how long did it take to actually get some sales rolling in?
Yeah, it took like I think a day because I put the jersey up for pre-order, so I didn't even have them yet, and I just bought some Instagram shout outs and I got sale like that day.
It's so crazy when you really think about when it takes to make stuff work. Like even there, it's like you're generating revenue before it's even live. I mean, there's so many like I the thing is like this days now we're attached to our cell phones so much. It's almost like it's a blessing and a curse. But if you're motivated, if you're hungry, if you want to make money, if you want to create things now, I mean, there's just no excuses because in the old days, 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, I don't even know how stuff got done. It's like, if you didn't have your like you got to work, you got to write stuff down, you got to mail stuff, you got how do you interact with someone? Now it's like, I mean, you're in Discord, Telegram, Instagram, MyGram, Yourgram, Twitter, all this stuff. There's ways you connect with people, you put stuff out, you have an idea, you can, there's just so much information and so many things that you can do. I mean, you can make money without anything. You can literally make money out of thin air. And just create stuff. So it's like it's really if you're not lazy and if you're motivated and if you're hungry, and you can literally take anything that you want that you're passionate about and you could create a business out of it if you have the the resources. And again, it's like some people are scared to ask, whether it's like a friend, a family member. If you have an idea, like don't be afraid. Like what's the worst they're gonna say? They're gonna say no. Like if you want to try something, just go for it. I think that's the easiest and most cliche thing is to take that first step, but that's the hard part. Like once you buy Jersey Champs, you put it up. What's the worst that happens? Like it doesn't work. Like people don't like it, and then what? So what? You're out a couple $100, $1,000. But look at the upside. I mean, You said you started with a couple grand, and I mean now you have it's a multi-million-dollar company, I would imagine, right? I mean, I looked it up. I mean, you guys are you've done 100K in sales in a day before, you said, right? Or I mean, it's like it's crazy. And how long is it actually? What's the day of incorporation? When did you actually go live with Jersey Champs?
May 1st, 2016. So we're coming up on 3 years tomorrow.
Any sales out there? Anything? Any promotion? Any hot? What's the best product going right now? What do you got? What would you say is? Do you have like a anniversary deal coming? Do you guys do a promotion with that? I mean, that's pretty cool. 3 years.
It's in our email sequences automatically. Best selling jersey right now is Zion Williamson Spartanburg high school jersey. He's a player for Duke right now. They're saying he's the next LeBron James.
Yep.
We can't sell college jerseys, but we can do the high school ones. So that one's selling well. And
is that deal so you go to him directly then?
No, so it's like you have to message the high school individually. He has no say in it. It's all the high school.
Oh, really? So that's crazy. And that's got to be, I mean, that's super rare though, right? Because there's like almost no players where you're going to get their high school jerseys out. Like it's got to be, he's a special one-off. But do you know him? Have you contacted him, or is there no need? Like, was there a point to even talk to him about? Like, because I would imagine if he promoted it or if he wore it, it would probably be pretty huge.
Yeah, it'd be huge for sure. Drake wore it once, but it was from Adidas. He doesn't respond to my DMs. Most people still don't. About like 10% do, but those deals lead to money. So
what is the wait? So Drake wore the Zion jersey, which was yours, or it was through a different company?
He wore a custom one he made through Adidas. I don't know how he worked that out. They don't even sell it.
Interesting. So the moral of the story is if Drake would wear so I didn't see it on the website. It's on Jersey Champs.
Yeah, it should be under basketball jerseys. It should be like the first one. I think it's sorts by best selling. It's called Zion Williamson Spartanburg Day High School jersey. It's a red jersey.
Let me see here. Okay, so so under basketball.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here we go. I didn't realize so there's the Bel Air one you're talking about. Yeah, so these are really reasonably priced. I mean, like you said, this is targeting
the younger audience, and the margins are still good for us. So even though they're low, we have enough wiggle room to like operate.
And wow, man, I mean, there's got to be. So I see the Bel Air Academy. Where's the Zion? You said it's up top. It's one of the ones up top.
Try sorting it by best selling maybe on the bar.
I see. There's a Bel Air, Will Smith, Spartanburg. Oh, is that it, Williamson?
Yeah. Anything you want, I got you. By the way.
All right, I'm gonna. I'm telling you, I want to get a flow. I want to get something with flow. It could be cool. How about I got one better. We'll talk off stream, but I have a feeling I may be able to connect you with Drake on something like that. So I got a,
No, that'd be insane.
yeah, you can. I mean, listen, this is live on the podcast. I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. So we'll see. I got a couple ideas for you, man. I might have to quit poker and jump into. I think maybe there's a collaboration, maybe some big stuff we can do here. So that's cool. This is really, really. I didn't realize how many total jerseys are there between. I mean, this is just basketball. How many lines do you have?
If you factor in the sizing, which would be 6 per jersey, we're definitely in the thousands.
Holy shit! And all sizes? You can get them printed in any size?
Yeah, sometimes we have to make them like 5 or 6 XL if it's for like a certain rapper with a bigger audience.
They're asking about when are the Flow Show party poker jerseys coming. Yeah, we'll see, man. Maybe we get something. Maybe we get something in the store. And someone asked, how old were you when you started with the endeavor? So you're 22 now. This was right out of college, or what? What year? How old were you?
Freshman year of Rutgers, so I was 19, and then I dropped out when I was 19 or 20, I think.
And that was, you dropped out on the premise you saw this was going very well quickly.
Yeah, we had about 100 grand in sales, so that was proof of concept. And then I was failing actually, so I had a 1.7 GPA, so I had to pick one or the other.
And would you attribute that to you were working hard and not, you were kind of just, this became your passion instead of school?
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a matter of like intelligence. It was just I was going to class, but I was literally working the whole time on my computer on the company. So
yeah, I mean, I got so into poker my freshman year of college as well. I ended up finishing. I played soccer at University of South Carolina, but
nice.
So I played 4 years there. It was fun, but it was one of those things too where my passion. I knew I loved poker. I was getting into affiliate stuff, like a bunch of different generating of revenue, and I got early as well into that side of things. And it's like I just knew what my passion was. And college is cool. I think it's like it's so overrated though in terms of like I can't remember one thing really that I learned. Maybe like opportunity costs from that lesson, like the professor, but like the test and the homework. I mean, it was so fun. I wouldn't not do it again, but it was like, if my son doesn't go to college, it wouldn't bother me. I just think it's fun to get that, go away from home, have that experience bonding with friends and kind of like but it's such a like promoted thing in the US. And I mean, I think it's just really over, again, going to like, if you go to Harvard or Stanford and some of these, some of the networking and the contacts and stuff can give you a leg up, but like overall, I just think it's not needed.
I agree.
But anyway, it's cool, man. So there you go. There's another drop out of college success story. These jerseys, man, there are some cool ones. Who are some of these people in the photos? I see this Bel Air Academy. I see a female wearing the jersey with her. It's really a brilliant idea. Is there anything similar to this? Is there any other industries or people that that have done something kind of similar where they've taken, because I mean the jerseys have been around forever. I mean it's like Uber, right? Uber, people, taxis, the rides are there. Someone just found an idea to monetize it and make it convenient and cool for everyone. Like this is similar. Like jerseys, people, Zion, these guys are around. You're just doing something and bringing something and making, monetizing it, but also doing something net positive and fun. Is there any other type of friends or people that are doing similar type of things that they've taken an idea and made kind of a quirky, fun component? Like, is there anything similar you could even compare this to or that you know about?
Yeah, all the winning companies like take an already selling product and put a slight twist on it and then sell it. I know people selling like custom socks, making millions, custom hats, like making millions. Like it's just already selling product, jersey, put a slight twist on it, and then it's easy to market.
Absolutely. Talk to me a little bit more about the economics on the Zion jersey, because he is a phenomenon. My dad was joking. We were debating naming our son Zion just because, but this year it'll be the most popular name for sure, right? Like that's just how it works. Kids born, but he's such a gifted and a unique situation. Do you come up with this idea and then you say, hey, like walk me through the financials on this, like not specifically, but you say, all right, we want to do a Zion jersey. Obviously it's really popular. We can't do his Duke jersey, but we can do his high school. So then you reach out? How do you actually go ahead and reach out? You email them? Do you go there? Do you call? How do you get a hold of And who do you talk to
Yeah,
specifically? Is it like the principal?
it's usually the sports director or some type of high up person for the licensing. Well, we'll usually email. Sometimes we'll start it over DM and they'll tell us to email, and then a phone call. It's like a funnel, but now we're so established that getting licensing is getting easier because now we have licensing for NBA and like NFL jerseys for dogs, and soon we should have that for humans. You just need the sales record and I think 3 or 5 years of business. So that'd be a major play for us.
And who is so okay. So you guys figure out the financials, the logistics. Is there like a serious negotiating that goes on there? Is it pretty much you guys have like, is that like an industry standard? I mean, I guess it's sort of unique, right? There's not really, I mean, like I think what maybe other players that would come to mind would be Kevin Garnett, who might have actually been from Spartanburg or somewhere in that near area. Kobe Bryant, Lower Merion. My dad went there, actually played with his dad at college basketball. He was there at the same time, which is kind of funny. But and then like LeBron, I mean, those are the ones that would jump out to me. I guess you could do it for almost any big player that's like high school, but it doesn't, I guess just the timing of this makes a lot of sense. But do you have a LeBron or a Kobe, Lower Merion or anyone's, or no? Is it just doesn't make as much sense now?
The only high school one we have. Yeah, we got to work on getting those for sure.
Is that something though? Is that something that, so was that like uncharted waters, the negotiations, or was it because there's not really maybe a standard? It's not like people are negotiating high school contract deals with players really. So how does that work? Like, was it sort of you just come in with like a standard, what you hoped, and they were like, okay, or they wanted to, I mean, there's always negotiations, of course, but.
Yeah, I mean, with the high school ones, it's super weird. Like, we didn't even have to pay Spartanburg to sell that one because they don't really get this offer a lot, I'm assuming. But I know with like other companies, you got to pay royalties out and stuff. So we have another company that sells fraternity and sorority jerseys, and we have to pay them royalties every quarter for the use of Greek letters.
So is it have you read, I'm sure you DM'd Zion, right? Or somehow is there some reaching out at all, or no? Like, how does that work?
We DM'd him. He never responded. we were trying to get him some for his family to wear, but he's probably so busy.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's hard. Like, those are one of those guys where he probably even has it like turned off. Like, you can't even, I mean, I can't imagine. It's there's different there's always a way though. Like I said, I got two contacts that I think might change your course of trajectory, which is already on a rocket ship. So I'm looking forward to chatting off screen because I have a lot of ideas. Take a couple more questions, and then we're already at an hour and 20 minutes. I think, again, man, this is different than the typical conversations and guests, but I'm very fascinated and very interested. And this is one of the more enlightening and informative podcasts, guys. Just so those of you that are watching, this is all going to be digitally audio transcribed. So there'll be timestamp notes. There'll also be the audio. We've gotten a lot of requests for Spotify, iTunes. There's going to be about 12 different podcast outlets. So this will be, and all of my podcasts will be in the future on those outlets. So this is, again, this is not, we have, there's not, right now, there's not a ton of people in at the moment, but it doesn't matter. This is definitely gold. And I know this will be a popular one. And I know you're going, you're going places, man. I'm excited to get to know you better. And I think, we're going to do a giveaway here in a second. Take a couple more questions. Is there anything else that you want to touch on? Is there any other bit? So again, just to summarize, Jersey Champs, Delicious, and then the Clout Champs. Those are your three. Is there anything else that you have in the pipeline or that you're targeting or doing at all? Or, I mean, like you said, you want to focus on the main ones and really crush that, which I agree with. But do you have any other type of hobbies or any type of other things? I guess the food stuff turned into kind of a hobby, into a sort of a back, secondary possible business. But do you have anything else that you like to do or that you're interested in?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Jersey Champs is fully automated at this point, so I barely work on that, maybe 5-10 hours a week. Delicious, we just do on the weekends. And we're looking to turn that into some sort of food subscription company down the road. Hopefully, we'll see. And yeah, I just watch Game of Thrones now, basically.
Nice. You're all caught up?
Yeah, I'm all caught up.
I saw it. I didn't get to see it because I was playing poker on Sunday. That's like the big day for online poker. No, I've seen it now, but I got kind of screwed because I forgot. I don't watch TV. I watch Game of Thrones. My wife and we like that, and a few other. I used to watch Breaking Bad. What else? What other series?
Great one.
There's one other one I really liked. Anyway, I forgot social media how like I looked at it the next day. I was like scrolling through and I saw the Damian Lillard meme. Like, do you see that picture after when he won? Remember that? I think it was the first series or one of the games where like it was on ESPN. Like it was like everyone he hit like a crazy winner or something, but like everyone was like. It was one of the funniest pictures I've ever seen. It was just like his face, like looking as everyone was like on top of him. But then I saw the meme of, not to spoil, the girl basically like they like photoshopped her head on his hit like that same picture with her looking up like saving the day. And
Oh,
so I was like fuck, like I knew it was like kind of ruined before it started the episode. I knew she was gonna
oh,
save the
that's
day.
crazy.
But anyway, yeah, the Game of Thrones is definitely in its a league of its own. What about that? What about GOT jerseys or something? Or you can't really do shows, right? Or you'd have to go royalty wise, or that might not even be that wouldn't probably be so popular. Maybe something like
Yeah,
that.
licensing is super hard, but I know like they definitely know about us because my one friend applied to HBO and they asked if they knew me.
Oh,
So
there's a movies and TV show here.
yeah, we do have a section, but I don't know how to obtain licensing for them. They're definitely huge though.
Do you think that would be what would you even do for GOT? What do you think would be a popular jersey? Like how
Oh, I would do
you
a
just
jersey for like every major house, like a Stark jersey, a
oh
Targaryen
shit,
jersey.
yeah. Yeah, I'm looking right now, Knights, Grays. Like yeah, like the Greyjoy. Like yeah, man, that would be huge. You could the GOT
Yeah.
would be big too. Just like
Oh
the
yeah, that'd be a
GOT words.
multi-million-dollar deal if that could happen.
Like I said, just listen, man. Poker's been a good run, everyone. I just want to announce the podcasting. Sean and I may be going into business, and that might be it. I got some ideas, and that's man, yeah. It's so cool because like it's literally endless. Like the amount of teams, players, ideas, cities, trends, rappers, artists. Like you can do so much. Like there's literally, it's one of those things that it's like endless. You literally can. There's always something you could come up with the design, and it's
Yeah.
cool because once you have the templates, the cost doesn't really. You just like put up. Oh, here's another jersey. All right, we have all the sizes. We can put this. You come up with the design. How much does an actual product cost to design? Like give me. You let's just go back to. I don't know. Let's go. Let's just take another one. So hip hop rap. Like you decide we're gonna do a. What's your favorite one of these in this section?
Um, we just did a YBN the Mirror jersey. We got the bad boy one, but pretty much designs cost like $10 at this point. I used to pay like hundreds, but our designers, we got a nice team now. They're doing it for 10. Some of them do it for free if it's for a celebrity to wear in a photo. So it's super cheap and affordable for us. I'll dump like hundreds a week on mock-ups.
So, just to be clear, like this YBN jersey, so you pay someone. So essentially, it's free. The design. I mean, it's $10. You have a design,
Hmm.
and now this jersey is going to be sold, and I could right now order it for $40. How does that? How like what type of I mean, the margins like in terms of it's got to be huge. I mean, look at right here. You have all the checkout. You can pay by what? PayPal, credit card, or what? What do you take? Do you take
Yeah,
PayPal?
we take crypto. We take
You do take crypto.
yeah, we're on Coinbase Commerce, so we take PayPal, credit card. I think that's it.
And
Amazon Pay.
so now so then the jersey where's your stuff made out of? Like where do they ship from?
We have factories in Pakistan, China, and Florida. So depending on how quick we need it, we can cater. But Florida is obviously the most expensive.
And so the shipping's not included in the price then.
Shipping is free for orders over 30 or 40, I believe.
Okay. And so now so this jersey essentially it's just the material. I mean, I guess there's cost. No, of course you have I actually dealt with Shopify and Shipwire and some other stuff a bit because I was doing it. I have a store as well, but now I just do to make it worthwhile. But like, what's the biggest headache or what's the biggest cost in all this? So there's not really much in the design. I mean, so after how many of these jerseys do you have to sell to break even? It's not many, right? I mean, there's really no. Like, it's almost like a mock-up print, right? They have all the jerseys and the sizes, and then they print it. So,
Yeah, we'll break even after the first sale, honestly.
so it's you almost can't put enough up. I mean, you're just like if you get something that's like going to sell more than one jersey, it's worth putting up.
Yeah, I mean it depends on like how much the customer acquisition cost is, but usually after the first one we'll break even.
Have you had any people reach out to you specifically? Like, do you have rappers or athletes that come to you with ideas, or normally you reach out to them? Is there anyone that you've had a particularly great experience with? Any type of celebrity?
I think 99% of the time we reach out to them, but I'm sure as the years go on, they'll shift slowly. But I don't know if you know the show First We Feast on Complex. We just did jerseys for them, and the guy's name is Sean. Also, he's super chill, and that should be on one of the episodes coming up. I like them a lot. Complex is a really big company.
That's cool. Yeah, it's man, it really is unique, man. I gotta say, congratulations on the success on your ventures, and the upcoming, I guess, Delicious and your marketing stuff. That's a TBD, but this is a very, very, very unique and interesting discussion that we got to have. I really appreciate it. If you have any last thing you want to mention, let me know. I'm going to quickly pull up the giveaway here. We're going to let you pick from the tweet today. We did have a giveaway from Party Poker. They are giving away a $55 ticket to the current Omaha series going. I got to teach you a little poker, man. When are you in Miami next?
I'll be there May 9th to 14th for Rolling Loud.
You're here May 9th?
Yeah.
For what? What's going on?
Rolling Loud Music Festival will be. We're doing jerseys for all the artists there. It's like a big hip hop festival.
Where specifically in Miami? Like Miami Beach or?
I think so. I'd have to get you the address.
All right, you're gonna have to come. You got to come hang out, man. I got to show you my digs, like the Miami setup. You got to see the office. Like, if I had known you were coming, I'm glad we did this now. But I would have done it. We could have done it live at my office. When I'll be in Miami then for I think the 9th and 10th at least. But yeah, we'll have to meet up. We'll go out and I'll show you around, and we can talk some other stuff, man. I got, again, my head's spinning with ideas, so I'm a little nervous for the Flow Show poker contingents, because I may have to shift industries. This seems too big of an upside, too big of a creative capabilities on this, but maybe there's room for both. So let's go over to Twitter. Let me just make sure we got everything updated. And I'll teach you a little poker. I got a table in my office. I'll show you a couple tricks. Like I don't want you to play. I don't want you to take it up. I just want you to be able to know, like, so you don't know like what beats what, like the hand rankings, even straights, flushes, two pair, and that stuff.
Briefly, but no, not really.
All right, we got that on tape. You'll be a star in no time. If you ever want to come to, have you been to Montreal?
Yeah, once when I was in college.
That place, that is maybe my favorite city. I'm going there the 20th to the 27th there's a big tournament series there.
Oh, nice.
If you have, I don't know if you're free. That's not far from Jersey City. I mean, that's a quick flight. There. If you want to come for a couple of days or something and check it out, I think you, again, we'll talk off screen, because we want to go over a couple things with you. But let's pull up this tweet. We had 44 retweets. We put this out last night. We did copy the link over here, so we are gonna let Sean choose a tell me when in a second. Let me let this load it up. We'll go over here to the tweet draw, and we will let you tell me. So someone's gonna win a $55 ticket from Party Poker, man. So you're gonna make someone's day. I'm gonna let you count it down. You tell me when to click roll, and we'll do the random tweet. I'm sure you've seen this type of. You do a bunch of giveaways, I know, on Jersey Champs.
Those, yeah.
Yeah. So you just tell me when, and someone's gonna win it.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Boom. Forrester Corey's. Let's see. Let's get a little stats on him. What's going on? So, all right, he's got a koala. Oh, he's a poker player. I see his avatar. He did retweet, and I believe he asked a question as well. He is from Serbia. So, congrats to you, my friend. We'll give you that $55 ticket from Sean and Party Poker, and we'll shut it down, man. I think that was great. Honestly, very, very cool. I love to hear you're in Miami, and we would have done it live. I think that would have been cool. But maybe we'll do a second rendition down the line when your next venture, Delicious, or the marketing agency blows up. So we'll talk again. I'll see you. Do you have some free time in Miami during that time? I'm sure you got a night or two.
We definitely got a link.
go to
for
dinner, so
dinner.
we'll meet up. You can meet my son, and I'll show you around Miami. I appreciate it very much, Sean. Congrats on all your success. You're very humble and very, very engaging. I'm interested. I learned some stuff today, and I can't wait to talk more. So thanks for your time, and we'll check in very soon.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Have a great day.
All right, you too, bro. All right, that's
All
Sean Kelly, everybody, founder of Jersey Champs. And remember, the podcast will be on iTunes. They'll be on SoundCloud. They're going to be on anywhere you can think of. It will be digitally remastered for sound quality, transcript, timestamps, the whole deal. And the 14th edition of the Jeff Gross podcast in the books. Thanks to Party Poker for the giveaways. And we'll see you guys very soon on Twitch. So have a great day. And we'll catch up with Sean off the live here. And we'll have some fun stuff for you guys in the future. And look for a Flow jersey coming to you soon. I think we'll get that worked out. All right.